Most High in Christ. All right, Bobbity. Bear with me 1 second, Israel. Bear with me 1 second. All right. Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Bashim Yashar Thumb. Yahweh Shemal Thumb Bashim Yashar. I'm Precinct Officer 5000. Yediah holding it down till 12 Shield. General Mahayaman gets here. General Mahayaman will be in the class. Type your questions in online. Type them in. Type your questions in. I'm going to get to your questions. You know what I mean? Make sure the general is prepped for them. Now, I understand something. Black, Latino, and First Nation, man and woman. Corona, I saw the craziest shit earlier today. Good shout out to Precinct Officer 1000 in the car. You know it's Pride Month. And them sodomites was downtown. Man, it looked like a civil war out there. It looked like a civil war Mahayaman. And it goes to show you like the demonic spirit behind Pride Month and being a sodomite. That is all against the Most High. The Most High is against you and your lascivious behavior. Like it is no different. You know, it reminded me of Sodom and Gomorrah on how violent they was getting trying to, you know what I mean, trying to GMS Lot and the angels. It was a rough situation, Karam. Our God is against homosexuality. Our God is against lesbianism. Our God is against all of that nonsense, man. Like Preaching Officer 5000 Abundance says, all it is glorified masturbation. You ain't really married. You ain't doing nothing. It's just deviancy to the highest level, which is punishable by death. And I'm going to show it to you. Give me Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 13. Of course, we ain't putting nobody to death, Karam. You know what I mean? You ain't got to worry about the Levites coming to chop your head off. Understand something. Most High going to deal with you. Because you got to realize something, man. That behavior, that lifestyle is not for our people. And it was not for us to get involved in. Like our people go hard for it, Mahayaman. Like you go hard for being a sodomite. What you need to go hard for is this truth. Black, Latino, and First Nation man and woman. That's what you need to go hard for. You got to go hard for that. You going hard for everything but. Everything but. It was a damn shame, Karam Yahala. It was out there going at it. You know, it looked like a full civil war blows. It was terrible. And it goes to show that the Most High is against it. The Most High is against you being a sodomite. And they call it pride. Ain't nothing prideful about being a sodomite. I pray you understand. Yeah, it's not something to take pride in. It is an evil spirit to be in, man. And it's wicked as hell. So, you know what I mean? For a man to be with another man or a woman to be with another woman. Read what you got, Ibad.
Okay. This book of Leviticus 20, verse 26.
Leviticus 20 and 13.
This book of Leviticus 20, verse 13. And if a man also lie with mankind.
If a man also lie with mankind. And if a man lies down with another man, or if a woman lies down with another woman, read.
As he lieth with a woman.
Because a man is supposed to lie with a woman is supposed to lie with a man. Keep going.
Both of them have committed an abomination.
Both of them have committed an abomination. It's an abomination unto the Most High for you to be a man and be with another man. For you to be a woman to be with another woman. Like big shout out to Captain Zariak, man. He made a good point about, you know what I mean, about that sodomite Saucy Santana. He went out there and was Saucy Santana was going out there saying, y'all bitches want to be masculine. And I'm sitting here like, God damn, Karam, is that not the pot calling the kettle a nigga? That's the pot calling the kettle a nigga. We damn past black. I call it for what it is. You mad at sisters for wanting to be masculine. The sister shouldn't be masculine. But you sitting up here full sodomite wanting to be feminine. What you trying to be? You going against nature. You going against the Most High. And that's an abomination. That's an abomination unto the Lord. That's what the Most High said, Mahayaman. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. Right. Both of them. You a woman, you ain't supposed to be with another woman. What gratification do you get from that? Let me tell you something too. Are you aware of all the abuse that happens between them dykes, Salakians? I apologize. Between those lesbians? Can't say that. We can't use the D word, TikTok and other social media. TikTok, I apologize. This is all sensitive. Abusers of themselves. You know what happens with them lesbians? Them Beanie Siegels, you know what I mean? And the Michelangelo Ninja Turtle, you know what I mean? Lesbians be beating the hell out of them sisters. They do. They be tearing them up. God damn, it's a rough situation. It's a rough one. You can forget about it. The Most High ain't for it. The Most High don't want two women being together. The Most High don't want two brothers being together. And they push this on our people, and you go hard for it. And you wonder why your life is in hell. You wondering why you got AIDS, you got HIV, monkeypox. Let me tell you something, Corona. Monkeypox came out, I was like, God damn. I saw one devil's face. His face was decaying while he was alive. His nose fell off. Like, good night. And the statistics behind the monkeypox was crazy too, Mahayaman. So we read an article for General Mahayaman where it said 98% of those that got monkeypox were men. The 2% were women that had men on the down low. Exactly, bro. Mahayaman, like, damn. That means good night. The Most High is telling us, man, that you ain't supposed to be in that type of behavior. You not. Most High said it was an abomination. Both of them have committed an abomination. Read.
Oh God. They shall surely be put to death.
They shall surely be put to death. Ooh-wee. Listen, Levites ain't putting you to death now. You ain't got to worry about Yahtazar, coming to chop your head off. You ain't got to worry about that. What you need to understand and realize is this. Now the Most High is going to deal with you. And you don't want the Most High dealing with you. You don't want that. That's a rough situation, Corona. The Most High dealing with you? Ooh-wee. You live that lascivious lifestyle now, the Lord see you, and he going to deal with you. And you go out there and you march and have a parade, and you out there having a full-out brawl. A full-out brawl out there in Center City. It was embarrassing, Corona. That's your pride, huh? That's what you got to be prideful and thankful for. Well, the Most High is against your pride, man. And I'll show it to you. You know what's heavy? I seen one devil on TikTok, Corona, that was like, well, Romans, the first chapter is not talking about homosexuality. Well, let me prove that devil wrong. Who is a sodomite, by the way. Can you give me Romans chapter 1 and verse 25? Give me Romans, the first chapter and the 25th verse. Because they try to make it seem like at the Most High, is not against homosexuality, where there's plenty of scriptures on it. And the heavy thing is with Romans, the first chapter, Paul was speaking directly to that. And the wickedness of that, and the vileness and just how revolting and disgusting it is. And you got to realize too, man, during this time period that Paul lived during the time of the Roman captivity. So he saw it in full effect, like how we see it now, Karam. Paul saw it back there in Rome. You can only imagine. The white man was walking around in dresses back. Well, he's still walking around in dresses like that. But he was walking around in full dresses during that time too. So rough one. Give me Romans chapter 1 and verse 25.
This is the book of Romans, to the 1 and verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie?
Who changed the truth of God into a lie? Who told us that homosexuality was an alternative lifestyle? Who told us that pork was the other white meat? Who told us that? I'll tell you. The oppressor did it. He's the one that said, who changed the truth of God into a lie? He did that. Read.
Oh God. And worship and serve the creature more than the creator.
And worship and serve the creature more than the created. Now you ain't worshiping the Most High. You don't give a damn about the Most High. Now you care about, all you care about is the man. And what man are we talking about? We're talking about you care about the oppressor. That's the one that you care about. That's the word that matters. A lot of you don't believe nothing or understand anything, but you respect the oppressor. That's who you worship. That's who you serve. That's why it says, For who changed the truth of God into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator? You worshiping and serving the oppressor, who is the devil that the Bible speaks of. El hombre blanco es el diablo. You take everything that he does and says and eat it up. A lot of you sisters, man, that be talking that nonsense, you approve of that lascivious lifestyle. You approve of that alternative lifestyle. What you should realize is those sodomite men, they cannot stand you. They hate you. You allow them to call you out your name, allow you to call you a bitch, allow you to, you know what I mean, talk crazy to you. It's a rough one with them, y'all. But let a straight brother tell you that. Oh, you'll lose your mind. But let me tell you something. Straight brothers, straight black and Latino and First Nation men, we don't hate sisters. We do not. You got a small few of incels out here, and believe it or not, they don't hate you neither. They just hate themselves, you know what I mean? But some y'all, they ain't got no game. But that's another conversation. That sodomite, he cannot stand you because he wants to be you, and you eat it up. They should be ostracized. And you got to realize, man, like up until the 1970s, homosexuality was classified as a mental illness because it is. You got demons on you. You ain't supposed to be looking at another man if you're a man. You ain't supposed to be looking at another woman if you are a woman. Come on now. The oppressor is the one that said, oh no, this is alternative way of living. This is acceptable. You can't even say certain things now. Oh my God, my thumb, y'all. You go to your slavery. Any one of us go to our slavery and we drop the F-bomb. You know what F-bomb I'm talking about? Boy, HR gonna have a field day with us. Have a field day. It's a rough situation. Listen, if I'm not mistaken, Ibahaya, didn't they get hate crime bills signed for them because they was getting beat up in the summer of 2021 and 2022? They got bills passed for them. But you can run up in a sister's house and unalive her while she's sleeping. You can unalive Hispanic sisters and brothers. You can unalive a brother by putting your knee on his neck. No hate bill for the straight brother and sister. No. Realize something. Our God is against this place and everything that this place promotes. Everything. America is Rome and Egypt on crack and steroids and acid and mushrooms. Whatever you can think about, America is that 100 times worse. And the Most High God, Yahweh, is against it. Keep reading that, bud.
O God, who is blessed forever. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 26. For this cause, God gave them up to vile affections.
For this cause, God gave them up to vile affections. What are these vile affections? I'll explain it to you. Keep reading.
For even the woman that changed the natural use into that which is against nature.
Even the women did change the natural use. What's the natural use? A woman is supposed to be with a man. You ain't supposed to be with no woman. And let me explain something. Because a lot of y'all don't understand this, right? You don't get it. You just don't understand it. It's not natural. It's not. And that's why, and let me tell you how unnatural it is, right? And how rough it is. Like for the brothers, let me talk to the incels for a second. You know what I mean? To make fun of them real quick, Karam Yala. They say, well, sis said that I got to be 6'5" and make this amount of money. Shirley with the fresh cut, with the FUBU jersey on, is not 6'5" and does not make over 100,000. Is she not? Am I lying? Y'all looking at me like I'm crazy. Sister, am I like, they not. Come on, man. Come on, man. All of them look the same. All of them look like Beanie Siegel and Michelangelo from TMNT. All of them look like that. So y'all brothers saying that when they say you got to have this and that, that's a lie. Ask Quatazar. Quatazar talk to bulldaggers all the time. Quatazar. Like Quatazar. Like, you know, the incels be saying on TikTok, they be saying, well, you know, you're dying. Sis said that I got to be 6'5" and make over 100K. Well, I be like, well, the female Kiss ain't 6'5" and she don't make 100K. She got the Michelangelo yellow mask on, orange mask on now. She 5'5". It's a rough situation. The Most High ain't for it. He's not with it. He's not with you. And you going against nature by being with that sister. And then what do? What do y'all do together? Let's be real. What do you really do? I ain't going to be too vulgar if we got babies in the room. What you going to do? Go get a toolbox, Quatazar? That toolbox can't compete with Quran. Can't compete with Ibad and Thumb Yard. I pray you understand. And for you incels out there, why do sisters keep having babies? You know, even the butchers, they have kids too. Young kids, which lets you know brothers don't care. Brothers do not care, Karam Yala. There's a brother right now looking at that sister with the FUBU jersey on and the Rockefeller jeans. And you know what he said in Quatazar? That don't matter. That don't matter. You ain't supposed to be like that. You ain't supposed to live that lifestyle. You going against nature. You supposed to be with a brother. You supposed to be. Keep reading.
Verse 27. And likewise also the men.
And likewise also the men. Now you got sodomites like Saucy Santana. Saucy Santana. And let me get to the root of why you have Saucy Santanas, why you have young MAs, and why you have brothers and sisters that turn out to be sodomites, homosexuals, and lesbians, and the F word. You got molested. You got touched when you were young. You have past trauma. And I apologize for what happened to you because it was traumatizing, and the person that did that to you deserves death. But now you go and do it to somebody else. Now you're living that wicked lifestyle because you wasn't able to deal with that trauma. When you ain't supposed to live that lifestyle, now you got brothers. Likewise, the men. Keep going, Ibad.
Leaving the natural use of the woman.
You leaving the natural use of the woman. You ain't looking at sisters now. Now you're looking at brothers. And that's something that's diabolical. And there's one thing that I cannot stand, man. That I cannot stand Black, Latino, and First Nation man and woman is a sassy brother. I cannot stand it. Like that's just terrible. Like you're supposed to be a soldier. You're supposed to be masculine. You sitting up here a whole sodomite. Weak. Understand something, man. That's not how we're supposed to be. Brother, that's not how you're supposed to be. But because we're in this place, because this is what they promote and all the abuse, you know what I mean? It's a rough situation. Now you got that strong demon of homosexuality on. Now you ain't even looking at women no more. You ain't looking at sisters. You're looking at other brothers. Diabolical. Keep reading.
Burn in their lust one toward another.
Burn in their lust one toward another. You ain't supposed to be living like that, man. That is not a lifestyle that our people are supposed to live. It shouldn't even be an option. You should be ostracized for that. You should be deemed. Listen, let me tell you something, man. We gotta bring back righteous shame. Righteous shame. Like you should not be able to walk around and be free. You know what I mean? And live that lifestyle. Like we ain't supposed to be doing that, man. You not. Like you supposed to listen. You living like that. Brothers are supposed to turn their heads. Sisters too. And they promote this like it's cool, Quatazar. Like it's fine. Like, did you see when the car posted on how they was downtown rumbling each other? A rough situation. They don't talk about how violent they are. They don't be talking about the abuse that happens within their own community. It's untreated trauma. That's what it is. And the Bible is talking about that. Even the men did leave the natural use, you know what I mean, of the woman. Now you ain't looking at a sister, you know what I mean? You don't even want to game a sister up. You sitting up here looking at brothers. That's wicked as hell. That is wicked as hell. And a lot of you incels, you ain't far from it. You in the he-man woman headed club now. You're gonna end up just like the oppressor. You know what the Proud Boys do to each other. You know what they do in those fraternities, Quatazar Karab. I ain't got to tell you. You know what they do in your fake Israelite groups. You know, that's why Nate's wife wants, you know what I mean, the women to come and be in the school, be in their church or whatever, you know what I mean, while they on their menstrual cycle. Because, you know, Big Frida and Nate, you know what they be doing with the rest of the brothers. That's a rough one. That's a rough one. That's God damn. I'm just saying. Listen, Eve, like, listen, we got this. Can't leave your man around Big Frida. And purple, it's a rough one. Our God is against all of that. And let me tell you what's so crazy about all that. During the time of the Roman Empire, they did all that wearing purple. That was their staple. That's their color. That's their color. That's what they do. You taking on their behavior, their learned behavior. Our God is against it. Now you got your lust burned towards another. You know, men working with that which is unseemly and receiving in themselves the recompense of their own error, which was meat. Give me Deuteronomy 23:17 and use the mic. Our God is against all whoredom, all lasciviousness, all of that nonsense, man. All of the sodomy. Our God is against it. Black man, you're supposed to be with that black man. Latino man, you're supposed to be with that Latino woman. First Nation man, you're supposed to be with that First Nation woman. That is how it's supposed to be. That is the natural order of things. This is not something you should be doing. It's not. Sidebar, did y'all see what Sexy Red was saying when she was on that podcast with Yachty and the other brother? The sister admitted to being raped, admitted to being abused in the worst way. And sodomite sat there and laughed at her. That's the problem. That's the problem. The I.S.U.P.K and the Commander General Yohanna is the solution for every Black, Latino, and First Nation man and woman and the trauma that we suffered through and face continually here in America, in the West Indian Islands, in Central America, and Mexico. The UPK and the Commander General Yohanna is the solution. You're not going to find a solution in the world. They don't understand. They're numb to it. They don't even know how to address it. It's funny. Ain't nothing funny about it. And here, problems get solved. And here, you are allowed and are able to heal through the mercy and power of the Most High. I pray you understand. Read Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 17.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 23 verse 17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel.
There shall be no whores of the daughters of Israel. Sis, you ain't supposed to be a whore. You're not supposed to. That is not a lifestyle that our women is supposed to live. A lot of you don't understand. When you see them sisters with them link trees or whatever, and they got that special profiles, you know what I mean, to them links, you know what I mean? What's them websites you be going to, Quadazar? Oh, he don't want to answer. But tell me, what's that site? What's that website you was telling me about when you be talking to some of them other sisters? He said, they strong brothers, Karam. They strong brothers. They're going to tell me after class, of course. I'm joking, man. Mahayaman and Quadazar, excellent brothers. We don't get caught up in the filth, you know what I mean, of this place. But them sisters have been abused. Them brothers have been abused. Like the last resort of you falling on funds, you know what I mean, should not be you bearing your rear end for the world to see. Or you know what I mean, or doing acts that you're only supposed to do behind closed doors with your husband. It's a rough one, Quadazar. God said that he is against, you know what I mean, whoredom. There shall be no whores of the daughters of Israel. No Black, Latina, and First Nation woman should be a whore. It is beneath every Black, Latina, and First Nation woman. And no brother should be a whoremonger. Read.
Nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
Nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. You ain't supposed to be a sodomite neither. That is not something that our God wants us to do and be. Hell no. Our God is against it. You ain't supposed to be no alternative lifestyle brother or sister. That ain't the solution. That ain't the solution. Let me tell you something, Quadazar. If you put, oh man, if you put Quatazar and Nathun and Mathumyad, 3 brothers on an island with 100 single sisters, 50 years from now, you are going to have a thriving population. UPK will be stronger than ever. Now you put 50, you put 3 random brothers in the world, you know what I mean, with 100 trans women. 50, 67 years from now, you know what I mean? You're gonna have 103 male skeletons. 103 male skeletons. That's what you're gonna have. That's gonna be over. It's gonna be over with. Nothing happens with that. Don't be fooled. Don't get ganged up by this place that make it seem like you should be proud of that. Ain't nothing to be proud of. You was abused. Like Quatazar, I'd be looking, I'd be like, you a victim. Your uncle touched you. Your aunt, somebody touched you. Allah Panya. Barak. Yahweh.
Wrap it up. Let's get it on. I'll answer your questions in the room and online. I'll give you your breakdowns that you need this week for camps and your various battles that you inevitably will be required to get in. Do I have any questions? No sweat, no sweat. What do you think? I'll just behave like we're not. All right.
This is from McQuan. He says, Slocky, sir, this is Trooper McQuan from Northern California. I'm typing to ask if stem cell therapy is unlawful.
No, stem cell therapy is not unlawful. Neither is contraception. I got a call today about someone teaching that contraception is unlawful. You know what I mean when I say contraception? Birth control, the IUID method, or IUD, or whatever they might have down there at the pharmacy. All of that is lawful. You want to get on the pill, do it. It is absolutely lawful. If you don't want to get on the pill, then don't. But if you want to if you want to get on some type of contraception, or you want your wife to get on some type of contraception, that is absolutely lawful. And so are stem cell. So is a stem cell replacement. So is a kidney transplant. So is a heart transplant. You'll find that if you research God, it is never unlawful to live. That's always lawful. Blood transfusion, lawful. The point of the law is for you to live. The Most High said, don't eat shrimp, crab, lobster. Don't be promiscuous sexually. Don't have relations with another man's woman. Why? So you could live. That's the point of the law. What you'll find is that nuts and ignorant people out there on the internet are trying to get you to die. That's what they want. That's what that controversy about that vaccine was about. That's why black people in America and Hispanics were the only people that were being told not to take it, while the rest of the world were having protests because they wanted it and they were demanding the vaccine from their governments. Black people in America, you didn't want it because the internet told you not to do it. Well, our oppressor is in charge of the internet. I have an excellent story about Donald Trump. Get a Most High hand for beginning to get Donald Trump, for beginning to bring the prophecies to pass. You see this shirt I have on tonight? Captain TITHES made this shirt for the Adunde Festival in Philadelphia. I mean, this had to be what? It had to be 10 years ago. Donald Trump was president for 4 years. It's been another 4 years. So it had to be 8 years ago when he first got elected. That's when Captain TITHES made this shirt in New York. He brought this shirt down to Philadelphia 8 years ago at least. And now the Most High is beginning to bring his prophecies to pass. There's a story I bring up tonight. Look this up for me, Yediah. It says the beginning of Donald Trump's career denying black people vaccines. The beginning. And I'm not sure. I forget the story. I can't recall. But I think it's from back in the 80s or the 70s or something like that. He was doing it back then. Yeah, don't be afraid of science. Everybody understands real science is biblical. Now, there is a false science that most of you believe in, which is basically superstition and fear. All right, that's not real science. But real science does not contradict God, because God is the author of real science. Everyone understands. Next.
Carl Khan, sir. Carl Khan, this question is from.
Time you got?
Time for church 731.
Go ahead.
Carl Khan, this is from Shapara Yahawada. Salak Yalawana by May. Please get a breakdown of 2nd Ezra 9 and 36. I would like to understand what this is saying on destruction.
No problem.
2nd Ezra 9 and 36.
God, in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 36.
What?
For we that have received the law perish by sin, and our heart also which received it.
Go one verse above it.
Verse 35. That thing also which was sown, or cast therein, or received, doth perish, and remaineth not with us.
I got to catch up with your taste, all right? Where are you at?
2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 35.
Stand by. 2nd Ezra 9 and 35, right? That's where the question is.
I believe it's 36.
Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, skip up to 34. That's what you need, all right? Go ahead.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 34. And lo, it is a custom when the ground hath received seed, or the seed a ship.
Let me start right there. Let me try to explain this to you. It is a custom, meaning she's saying that this happens. This happens normally. Read it from the top. It is custom. Read after that.
When the ground have received seed.
So it is custom, meaning it's normal, that when the ground receives seed, meaning you're a planter, a farmer, you want to plant something in the ground, right? So when you go and put that thing in the ground, that seed in the ground, go ahead.
Or the sea, a ship.
Or a ship goes out into the sea. Continue.
Or any vessel, meat or drink.
Or any vessel, meat or drink, whether it's food or liquid. Keep going.
That being perished, wherein it was sown or cast into.
That being perished in the thing that it was cast into, meaning it's normal. If you put an apple in the ground, the apple is going to die. And then the seeds will bring forth an apple tree. You plant a strawberry in the ground, the strawberry dies. And then the seeds bring forth strawberries. If you go out into a boat and you go into the water, you die. That's what happens. It's the same way if a vegetable goes in the ground, it dies. You go overboard in a boat in sea and you die. And that goes for any food or drink in a vessel, right? All of it dies. You put it down your mouth, it's gone. Everybody gets it, right? Continue.
Verse 35. That thing also which was sown or cast therein or received doth perish.
That's what I just broke down. Everybody understands. Go ahead.
And remaineth not with us.
And it's not with the living anymore. It's gone. That apple is gone because you put it in the ground, so it died. That man that was on that boat that capsized, he's gone. That food or that drink that was in that vessel, once you pour it in yourself, it's gone. It's not, that food or drink is not on the table anymore. It's gone. Continue.
But with us, it have not happened so.
But with us, that is not how it happened. It's normal and it's customary for that to happen. But with us, that did not happen. Continue.
Verse 36. For we that have received the law perish by sin.
because we received the law and yet we still broke the law. Do you understand? Which is not customary. Why? Because the law within us. We were taught the law. We were taught the right thing to do. We knew. We as a people, the people of Israel, the chosen people of God, we were given the commandments, not the other nations, not our oppressor, not the people round about us who now have become to be our lords. We are the ones that were taught right from wrong. It went in us. Keep going.
And our heart also which received it.
And it went into our heart. What does your heart mean in biblical terms? Your mind. You were given the rules to live. Keep going.
Verse 37. Notwithstanding the law perisheth not.
The law did not die. The law is still around. The rules still apply. The Most High's dietary law, his spiritual law, his ceremonial law, those things are absolutely still alive right now. Continue.
But remaineth in his force.
But they remain in his force. What does his force mean? His power, his authority. Meaning what? God enforces the law. He is the enforcer of the law, not police, not some government agency, but the Most High is the one that will take it up with you when you sleep with another man's woman, when you commit adultery on your husband, when you go out and become a drug addict or a cigarette smoker or a weed smoker. He enforces the law. Everybody understands? Continue.
Verse 38. And when I spake these things in my heart.
Was that her question? Or did we pass it or get to it yet? Oh, that was a question. All right, done. Next.
This is from Israel for real.
Israel for real. Some of y'all Israel for fake out there. Not him. Keep going.
He said, Shalom, sir.
Shalom, boy. Yahweh
He said, what should I do if my wife tells me her and her baby dad have been sexting and sending sexual videos to each other?
It's a rough one, young warrior. Unfortunately, that's a very common occurrence, here in the land of our captivities, round about the world, right? Well, if your wife tells you that, then you should ask your wife, has she slept with this man? Right? You should ask her. If it's even easier if you're a member of the Israelite School of U.P.K. If you're a member of the Israelite School of U.P.K., then we could ask for you because that's a very delicate situation. And in many times, your anger might cause you to do something that might hurt you, even though you are the victim. If your woman commits adultery and sleeps with another man or is sexting is the pictures and everything. And the videos, goddamn. So it's not just text messages. Oh, he said videos too. All right, well, that's a hurtful thing to happen to a brother. So many times you don't want to be the one that confronts her because then you might do something that ruins your life, even though you're the victim. Because if you harm her or unalive her, now she's going to go be with all of the men in the world and you'll be in prison. So many times Commanding General Yahanna advises you to allow the school to handle that. So if your wife says, I've been sexting people, I've been sending videos to my ex, it's always that ex. Always that same man she left. Why did she leave him? Because he cheated on her. That's why she left him. But the minute she gets with you and you say, I want another woman, then of course she's angry at you and wants to go back to her ex that cheated on her. Anyway, you come down to the school, we will obey the commandments in Deuteronomy. And we will give her the law of jealousy. That's where a husband can bring his wife before the priest, and the priest will give her a test to see if she accepts the temple. And if she accepts the temple, then she has not committed adultery. You just have a wife that sent dirty, nasty pictures to her ex and videos. I'm just telling you. Yeah, that's why I tell you, watch who you marry. Watch who you marry. That's all I can do for you. All right. You don't listen to me, but then when you find her giving pictures to her ex, then of course it's time to cut her head off. You should have listened. Anyway, but if she rejects the temple, then she has indeed committed adultery, and then you leave her. There are many cases where the priest will just determine whether or not she has committed adultery. We'll examine her, we'll question her, and we'll put her through the process. The process always reveals who a person is. So you just bring her before the priest, Doc. That way you don't harm yourself or make things worse, all right? Next.
This is from AJ. It says, Slack Yahweh, if I may ask with your grace.
No problem, AJ. Well said, brother. Absolutely. Continue.
He says, it's the celebration of Nicanor, a head holiday. I'll get the understanding of it, Brother Patrol.
I don't understand what that is. Nicanor. Does anyone know what that is? AJ, you might have to explain what that is. Nicanor. I don't recall that. Let me just ask Alexa. Alexa, what is the holiday of Nicanor?
The holiday of Nicanor is celebrated in Japan and is similar to Western Halloween. It is a Buddhist custom and one of the most important Japanese Buddhist customs. Would you like to hear a holiday joke?
No, thank you, Alexa. Nicanor is unlawful. Everybody understands. Nicanor is a Buddhist custom, which means it's the worship of another god. The god in question is Buddha, who is God to the people of Buddhism. He's some prince that lived a long time ago. Just like Cesar Borgia, once the prince died, his family made a statue of their son and told everyone that their son was God. And that's what the Apocrypha says about the creation of idols. It's always the child of some powerful man. And when his son dies, he has the money and the reach to make his son's image a god. And that is what Buddha is, and Nicanor is unlawful, AJ. Next.
Sir. This is from Captain Dohol, sir.
No sweat, Captain.
Yes. He said, why did the Lord kill Ezekiel's wife? Was it because he ignored his duty or for some other reason? If there was there a precept?
Well, the Bible only says that she was the desire of his heart. The Bible doesn't tell us what kind of wife she was or what kind of person she was. You can infer that she was a terrible person and unlawful, and that she was an absolute distraction and a prohibitor of Ezekiel going to camp. Now, you have to infer that based on the Most High taking her life so that he could go to camp, because clearly he couldn't go with her alive. With her alive, he was unable to put the shoes upon his feet, to tie his mitre about his head, and to go speak. He couldn't do that with her living, which lets you know two things in the spirit. That one, she was evil enough to stop him from going to camp. Two, he was too weak under her to resist her. You get my point? He couldn't just say, bitch, shut up. I'm not, get in there and be quiet. I'm going to camp. He didn't have the strength to do that. She was the desire of his heart. So you can infer that she was wicked and that he was too weak to do the Lord's work and reject her. That's what you know about Ezekiel's wife and why she died. If your brothers don't know the precept I'm speaking about, you just raise your hand or someone online tell me and I'll read it. If not, I'll move on, all right? Go ahead.
This is from Robert Carter.
Mm-hmm.
He said, Shalom, Lord Christ, referring to a previous question. Mm-hmm. He said, with all that being said, is sexting not considered adultery?
Sexting is not sex. So it cannot be considered adultery because adultery is sex. Do you get my point? There are many things that are absolutely unclean. They're not sex. It's not sexual contact. Or else you would be married to every woman who you've seen walk down the street half naked. You understand? If I go out this door, I'll see virtually all of a woman's body. She's not my wife because I've seen that. You see a woman in a movie, a woman takes off her top. You brothers, you go to those movies where they show naked women or those pornography sites y'all always on. That would mean you were married to that woman. You get my point? It would mean if you not even pornography, if you just watched a regular R-rated movie and it had an explicit sex scene. The woman is topless. You're seeing the woman's body. That would mean that's your wife. Or if a woman goes to an R-rated movie and a man takes off his shirt and shows his penis, that would mean that that's her husband on the screen. She's married to Brad Pitt now from now on because she's seeing his body on the screen. Seeing a naked image of a person is not adultery, does not mean you're married to the person. Is it unclean, disgusting, and unlawful? Absolutely it is. It's just not breaking that law. Do you understand? It's not. It doesn't mean that you have had sex, because if it was adultery, then the woman would be married to the man who saw her body. You'd be married to those prostitutes on the porno sites that you watch, or when some actress takes off her shirt in an R-rated movie, you would be married to her. No, it's not unlawful. That's why you should choose wisely when you choose a woman. There are so many things that cannot give you the right to divorce. It can give you the right to a lot of things. And once again, you might bring her to the council, and the council might determine she's sexting this man because she is having sex with him. Do you understand? That's why I'm trying to advise you, bring your wife to the council. Because I've been in councils where the woman says, I sent these nasty pictures, I got weak. Upon examination, the council realizes she sent this picture because this is her husband, this person. That's why she sent this video. That's why she's lying when she says she didn't have sex with him. She sent the picture because this is her man. And I've been in councils where the woman says, I did not have sex. The council tells her that she is judged an adulterer and a liar, and this marriage is over. That's probably what I've seen, I think, virtually in every time it's ever happened. I can't recall a time when the council did not determine that she was a whore. Every time that I recall, if she sent those messages, she also committed adultery. I'm just telling you, but I can't just give you a blanket statement to say it automatically means it, because it does not. You bring her to council, and we will determine whether she's a whore or not. 9 times out of 10, she's a whore. But you still should bring her to council. Everybody understands. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. This is from Officer Mahayaman God. He said, Salam, General. With your grace, can I get a breakdown of Romans 3 and 1 officer?
No problem, warrior. That's an honorable request. No sweat. Go ahead.
God is the book of Romans, chapter 3, verse 1. What advantage then have the Jew? Or what profit is there of circumcision?
One verse above it. This is 3 and 1. So, like, read the last verse of chapter 2.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 2, verse 29. But he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart.
You read one verse above it. Let me give you the whole controversy about this. Fake Israelites, Christians will say that they will use this precept and then lie about the meaning of this precept to say you're a Jew in your heart. You know, you're a Jew based on how you feel about being Jewish. And so that makes you a Jew. That is, of course, not what this precept is speaking about. I will explain right now. Read it again. Let me read one verse above it.
Verse 28. For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly.
Go up above it.
Verse 27. And shall not uncircumcision.
One more verse above it.
Verse 26. Therefore, if the uncircumcision.
One more verse above it.
Verse 25. For circumcision barely profited.
It's all right.
If thou keep the law.
This whole topic, everything we're reading about now, is about whether or not the brothers in the truth who came from Greece, who came from Rome, who came from Thessalonica. What book is this in?
Romans chapter 2.
Who came from Rome, who came from Corinth. These brothers were not circumcised when they were children because they were in a land where circumcision was not the law. You can compare that today to Benjamites, West Indian brothers who are from the islands. They don't circumcise on those islands. I believe in Haiti, they do not circumcise. The Dominican Republic does not circumcise. In America, coincidentally, they circumcise here. I'm not sure if they circumcise in the UK. The brothers would have to tell us, but there are places where it's customary for every boy to be circumcised. Well, 6,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, if you were born in Jerusalem, every boy was circumcised on the 8th day because it was the law of the land to be circumcised on the 8th day. Paul is teaching in Rome now, in Corinth, in Thessalonica. These brothers are Israelites by blood, but they have not kept the law of circumcision. Their parents weren't required or didn't even know that they should do it. But now they're 25 years old and they want to come into the truth. They want to serve their King, Jesus Christ. They know they're Israelites and they want to keep the law from here on. They want their faith to matter, not whether or not they kept the law. They want their faith to matter, not whether or not they have kept the law. They want to come into the truth. But the brothers in the truth that lived in Jerusalem did not want to allow them in the school because they were from Rome, because they were from Corinth, and they knew that those Romans did not circumcise kids. So that's the controversy that you're reading about, that Paul is writing about, because it was a very big controversy in the schools he was over, because he was the apostle sent to the Gentiles of the Gentile. He was a Gentile. Everyone understands? Now read. Okay, just remember what I just said. Now you read. Go ahead.
Want to read 3 and 1?
Yes.
Sir. This is the book of Romans, chapter 3, verse 1. What advantage did have the Jew?
So Paul just went on to say about it, you don't have to be circumcised. Circumcision is a token that says whether or not you believe in the Most High. But you better believe in the Most High, even if you don't have the outward token of your penis having the skin off. You better keep the commandments, even though you don't have this mark that pledges you to keep the commandments. If you have faith, you'll still keep the commandments. Then he came back and said, what? 3 and 1?
Or what profit?
No, I'm saying read 3 and 1. What advantage?
What advantage did have the Jew?
What advantage does the Jew have then? Or, go ahead.
Or what profit is there of circumcision?
Those Jews, they live in Jerusalem. They don't want us to come into the truth. They're the Jews. They don't want us to be with them. They don't want Ephraim. They don't want Manasseh. They don't want Gad. They don't want the, how do you say 12 in Espanol? Tribus doce. How do you say 12 tribes in Espanol? Alexa, how do you say 12 tribes in Spanish?
12 tribes in Spanish is doce tribus.
Dulce tribus. They don't want the dulce tribus to come into the truth. They don't want that out. So then what advantage do the Jews have? Or what profit is there in circumcision? The Jews are circumcised. The Jews live in Jerusalem. I'm telling you, don't listen to them. You don't have to be circumcised. So then what advantage do they have? Or what profit is there in being circumcised? Keep going.
Verse 2. Much every way.
In every way. That's what advantage they have. In much every way. Continue. Chiefly, mainly, go ahead.
Because that unto them were committed the oracles of God.
Unto the Jews in Jerusalem, those circumcised men, the Most High gave them the word of God. That's what the word oracles means. The Most High gave him the oracles of God. Keep going.
Verse 3. For what if some did not believe?
What if some people didn't believe? What if some people disagreed with God? You're living in a place right now in a time where everyone disagrees with God. That time has been going on since the Garden of Eden, where everyone disagrees with God. We would just all be arguing and fighting. Eventually, we'd all pick up weapons and unalive each other, and that's how we would determine whose side God was on. That's how it's normally done. Without the oracles of God, then people don't know what is true. Everybody understands? You need the Bible to end arguments, to end debate, to end war. The Bible says this, I say this, I'm right. The Bible says this, I'm not saying this, I'm wrong. What advantage do the Jews have? chiefly because they received the word of God. Keep going.
Shall their unbelief?
And I'm sorry, for what if some?
For what if some did not believe?
What if some did not believe? Keep going.
Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect?
You see that? Because they don't believe in something, does it mean that we that do believe in the oracles of God, does that mean our belief doesn't matter? Simply because you don't believe? What difference does it make? We have the word of God. So even if you don't believe that Jesus is black, and you don't believe that the Hispanics are the chosen people of God, and the so-called North American Indians are the chosen people of God, it doesn't matter to us that do believe, because we have the oracles of God. So your unbelief is irrelevant, because we know what we're teaching. We know for a fact what we say, because we have the Bible, because we're Jews. Everybody understands? Keep going.
Verse 4. God forbid.
God forbid. Go ahead.
Yea, let God be true, but every man a liar.
That's why you need the oracles of God, young man. Because let God be true and every man a liar. Because they say that all nations can be saved. You can keep saying it. You can all believe it. All you fake Israelites and Christians and Muslims, you all believe the same thing. All of you, listen, this is how twisted the religions of this world are. Each religion believes in a different God, and they also believe that the next religion has the same God. So I call him Allah, you call him Jehovah, you call him Buddha, but it's all the same. All three of them got different rules, different practices, different customs. They'll put you in jail for something in Saudi Arabia that America wants you to do. You go around walking around in America as a woman, the way you walk around in Saudi Arabia, you're getting your head chopped off. You're getting unalived over there. But yet if you ask them, is the God of Christianity a different God than Allah? No. We all have the same God. I don't think they're the same. They seem real different to me. Because my wife went over there and now she's gone. My wife went to Saudi Arabia. She dared to pull down her mask for 10 seconds to breathe, and I went home single. So I don't believe that it's the same God in Islam as it is in Christianity. All of them just believe that we shouldn't argue. We all have the same belief as long as they're able to enforce their rules. Well, they don't. None of them believe in the Israelite school of UPK. No fake Israelite group believes in us. We're hated by every major religion, and we're hated by the small itty-bitty, itty-weeny religions. All of you hate us, every last one of you. The fake Israelites think we're just, this. What do they say about us in the fake Israelites? That we always say we're the only ones that have the truth. And we're so divisive, and we're so mean. The Christians say we're a hate group, and we're a cult. The Muslims think we're just crazy out of our damn mind. All of them. They all agree in one thing, that they hate Commanding General Yahanna and the UPK. So what? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? No, it will not. God forbid. Everyone understands. Okay.
God, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged.
That thou mightest be justified in what you say, and that when people try to judge you and try to convict you of being wrong, you may be what? After justified, when thou art judged. You might be justified, correct?
Mightest be justified.
That's correct. What that means is this. We need the Bible, the oracles of God, so that when we say something, we can prove that we're right. And we are right about Jesus Christ coming from sex, not an immaculate conception. We're right about the color of God. We're right about the color of Christ. We are right about who Christ died for. We're right about who the children of God are, and we're right about who the children of Satan are. We're right about that. How do we know? We can prove it. We have the Bible. We can prove it. And when someone tries to say we're wrong, and they try to judge us because we're wrong, we can prove that we are justified in what we say. That's the point, if that's the breakdown, all right? That's what she wanted. That is the breakdown. Good to go? Is that enough? Can I move on? Next. You need me up? Yeah, I will in 1 second. You must be a prophet of the Lord. For what? Give him a hand. The water warrior.
This is from Officer Koshah. He says, Salaki Allah. Can you break down Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 1 through 7?
1 through 7 is a bit much, warrior. I'll give you 1 verse or 2 verses, all right? Or I'll skip down, give you 1, then give you 7. That might be good for him. Go ahead, give me 1. Mm-hmm. If he has a direct point, that might save time.
The first verse will answer this question.
Go ahead, read the first verse. It's,
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verse 1. Verse 1. Be not jealous over the wife of thy bosom, and teach her not an evil lesson against thyself.
This is a very important precept for a young husband out there, man. If you're young and unseasoned with women, now you have a wife. Don't be jealous over the wife of thy bosom, and teach her not an evil lesson against you. Let me sum it up for you in a nutshell, right? Don't teach a woman that you are easily manipulated into being jealous over her. Don't do that, because she will then make you jealous every day. She's going to do it because she loves when you say, what are you wearing? Who are you with? Who are you going over there with? What are you doing? She's going to do things to make you jealous. This is how crazy your woman is. Some of you idiots even hit her and beat her because I don't want you talking to no man. I don't want you being around no man. A lot of you hate your wife if she comes to a high holy day. You all, well, don't be talking to that brother. Don't be watching his classes. I've heard about that. That's a ridiculous thing that I've heard about. But some idiot tells his wife he doesn't like her to watch the classes of other brothers in the school. And I always think to myself, do you think that your wife is going to think that you're more of a man because you hate your brothers? What do you think? She's going to think that your disloyalty is masculine? This is what she's going to do. She's going to know, my husband is jealous of that brother. He's worried about that brother. He thinks that that brother is handsome. He thinks that I like that brother. And then guess what she's going to do when she gets angry at you? I'm going to turn on the class and watch Officer Yediah. You got another woman? Officer Yediah was just saying last week in class that if a man geteth a wife, then she'll quote all of Yediah's classes to you. Then before you know it, Yediah is wondering why this brother's salute is a little lackluster. Hey, Shalama. You're like, damn, did I offend you, brother? Is everything all right? No, it's good to go. No problem, sir. It's all right. Okay, no sweat. Why? Because some woman at home is talking about Yediah, watching his classes, throwing it up in his face, mentioning Yediah in arguments. Yediah don't know anything about it. Whose fault is it? Her husband. Because he has taught that evil bastard that he is weak and disloyal. And she is going to use it against you. Because she doesn't care if you knock her tooth out if she has your attention. Guess what? If you're in there fighting her over worrying about who's in her phone and worrying about who she's talking to, you're not outside the house with that other woman. You can just stay there and smack her in the face all day because at least she knows you're not over there with her. And when you're going to walk out the door, she'll go ahead and leave. I was about to watch you Yediah's class anyway. What'd you say, bitch? Shut the door. Stayed in the house 12 hours. That's this precept, warrior. Don't teach your wife how to manipulate you. Don't do that. Be comfortable. What are you worried about, keeping her? You want a whore? Go whore. Is someone stopping you from whoring? Whore all you want. That's it. You'll come here and you'll wonder why the paint is scraped off the walls and I'm gone. And I took the paint with me. I scraped the walls down. Yes, I'm taking my TV. Yes, and the couch. And now you don't know I have brothers. The brothers rented a U-Haul truck. Is hiding, is camouflaged down the street. They don't bring it up the minute you go to work. and they're going to take the tree branches off of that U-Haul truck. And my brothers are going to strip this house like army ants. You come home from work, and I'm gone. It ain't got to be dramatic. We ain't got to have a big fight. You whored, okay? No sweat. Go to work. Yeah, that's all right. Well, let me think about it. Let me try to wrap my mind around this. Yeah, give me some time. You come home from work, the echo is going to let you know already. When you hear the echo in the house, baby, 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 are you there? Oh shit, he took everything. Now, who thinks I'm making this up? You know I'm not. You know we've done this. You know that. You're around enough to know. I'm not exaggerating here. We're in a cult. Do you understand me? We do extreme things. As long as you know. Obviously you know.
You said that was so heavy, all I can think about is you on the phone, like, yeah, baby, it's okay, all this shit.
Listen, we all fall short. You know, I'm not perfect. Clearly, I'm not perfect. You just go to work, relax, don't worry about that. All right, that's your answer. All right, next.
This is from Daniel, son of Judah. He said, Salaki in general. With that being said, could you clarify what Yahawashi meant when he said if you look at a woman with lust, you committed adultery? Just trying to understand.
Well, that's not in the Bible, young warrior. That's not in the Bible at all. Everyone says it is in the Bible, but that's not in the Bible. I'm going to explain it to you. That's from the Catholics who say, now, before I answer the question, get the precept. But do you know what that would mean? Is this brother saying that you cannot, well, let's look up lust first. Let's ask Alexa what lust is. Alexa, what is lust?
Here is an answer from an Alexa Answers contributor that I translated. Lust is a term that indicates an excessive or overly intense desire for sexual pleasures.
Stop, Alexa, stop. An intense or overly aggressive desire for sexual pleasure. I'm going to ask the brother a question. Do you never look at a woman with an intense desire to have sex with her? Is that what you're saying? Just answer the question. Does he believe it is unlawful to have a strong, intense desire to have sex with a woman? Let him answer for a second. How long should I give him? It's going to take forever. Anyone? Is it wrong to strongly want to have sex with a woman? Anyone in the chat thing here? Let's give them a shot. I don't have all day. You see, they're struggling right now. This is the box. Do this at camp. When you're at camp, just say, okay, Jesus Christ said you can't look at a woman with lust. So are you saying that you don't ever look at a woman with a strong desire to have sex? Let him say no. Let him say no. I never want to have sex with a woman. Let him put him in there. Where to be right, he's going to have to say no. I never have a strong desire to have sex with a woman. What was his answer?
He said no if she's not married.
Say it one more time.
He said no if she's not married.
If she's not married, what does that mean? What does that mean? He only has a strong desire to have sex with married women. I think you might be going down the wrong road with this, right? I'm going to assume that's a mistype. Go ahead.
No, so he's saying, it's not wrong unless she's married. If she's married, it's wrong unless
if she's married to another man. Yes, now that's the breakdown. Give him a hand. Here's what is not true. You absolutely are allowed to have a strong sexual desire for a woman. That's where babies come from, young brother. Without that, none of us would be here. Without that and vodka and gin, the room would be empty. Wouldn't be babies on this planet without Bacardi and a strong desire to have sex. That's lawful. Let me tell you another trap that you can get Christians in when you battle a Christian about this precept. He just said, then why does the Bible say that if you lust after a woman? Did you hear him say that? Remember earlier, right? What was his question? Jesus Christ said, if you lust after a woman, it's a sin. Who else is a woman? Your wife. Your wife is a woman. So if Jesus Christ said it is wrong to lust after a woman, then you couldn't lust after your wife either, because your wife is a woman. This is the box you can put Christians in, because really they're just quoting what some Catholic priest said who likes boys. That priest does not lust after women at all. He has no desire to have sex with any woman. Do you understand? Lusting after a woman is good. It is right. It is biblically accepted, and it is how life is on this earth. Without lust, without lusting after a woman, do you know there would be no people here? We would all have died out from the Black Plague, from the COVID-19, from the swine flu, from the scarlet fever. All of us would be dead because thousands, millions of people died about every 10 or 15 years. Yet we're still here. The human race has survived plague after plague, war. How many people died? Alexa, how many people died in World War II?
Numbers vary from 50 million to 55 million.
55 million. We're still, Alexa, stop. We're still here. 55 million people died. World War II took 4 years. In 4 years, 55 million people died. Why are we here? Because men want to have sex with women, young brother. That's why we're still here. It is a good thing. Everybody understands. Don't let the church make you think you're evil because you like how she's shaped and you like to look at her and you want to go up to her and get her phone number and you want to be with her. That is not wrong. That's how humanity has survived wars and plagues. Do you understand? What is wrong? What was Jesus Christ talking about? He was talking about wanting your brother's woman. Her you can't want. You can't want her, because the minute you begin to want her, you will plot on getting her. Don't allow yourself to even desire your brother's woman. Don't do it. If you feel the feeling coming up in your sick mind, fight it off. Do what you have to do so that you never plot on being with her. That is where the law of covetous comes from. To covet another man's wife means you're plotting on getting her. It's like there's a law against stealing and there's a law against attempted theft. There's a law against murder and there's a law against attempted murder. Well, to covet is attempted theft, attempted adultery. Do you understand? Because this brother is plotting on your wife. He's calling her and sending her explicit messages. He's trying to have sex with your wife. He might not have done it yet, but he covets your woman. And here's the evidence of it right here. These text messages, these filthy pictures, this, and the time he's spending with her, laughing and drinking with her, him and her alone. He's plotting on your wife. And in the UPK, he would be made an example of. Everyone understands. That's what Christ was talking about. He was talking about adultery. Now I'll break it down to you. Go to the precept quickly. Is it in Matthew 25?
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 28.
Go ahead.
But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery.
All you need is a verse above it.
Come.
Go ahead.
Verse 27. Ye have heard that it was said by them of old times.
Old time, meaning back in the Old Testament, a long time ago. This is what they said. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Thou shalt not do what?
Commit adultery.
Thou shalt not marry a woman.
Commit adultery.
Thou shalt not make a baby.
Commit adultery.
And a long time ago, here's what the law said. You shall not commit adultery. That's what the law told you to do. Go ahead.
Verse 28. But I say unto you.
But I'm telling you, you see, so many people think that Jesus Christ came to do away with the law. No, God forbid. Jesus Christ came to make the law more strict, more stringent. He increased the fines. Jesus Christ is an absolute law and order king. We had a law a long time ago that just said you couldn't commit adultery. Like the brother asked earlier, can I leave my wife if she sent a picture, if she's sending pictures to her ex? Well, that's not adultery. But Jesus Christ increased the law. He increased it. Now there's a whole nother law about that's deeper than adultery. It comes before adultery. It was said a long time ago that you couldn't commit adultery. But I'm telling you, go ahead.
God, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust.
Now, looketh on what?
A woman
Looketh
to
on
lust.
what?
A woman.
Now, so if I'm an idiot and I don't understand context, this would mean I could not want to have sex with my wife. That's what that would mean right there. Does everyone see that? If you don't see it, tell me. There's no shame in that. You've heard it the wrong way your whole life. I'm just going to read the precept, and then let's read it one more time. Go ahead.
Verse 28. But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her.
Whosoever looketh on a woman that's not your woman?
To lust after her.
No. Whosoever look on a woman that's not your wife. Is that what it says? Say it. Is that what it says or not? That's not what it says. No, that doesn't say that. It doesn't say, except for your wife. You see that in your mind because of the Christian church, but that's not what it says. It doesn't say, except for your wife. It doesn't say, except for your girlfriend. That's how you feel about it, because, of course, the Christians allow you to marry one woman. So they say, okay, well, this is not talking about your wife. That's not what it says. It doesn't say it's not talking about your wife. Read it again.
Well, I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her.
On a woman that's not your wife, is that what it says? Reader, is that what it says? It does not say that. So, do you think that you're not allowed to want to have sex with your wife? No, you don't think that, because of course that would be ridiculous, right? So then I'm going to need something that's called context. To get the context, I go that one verse up. So what kind of woman can you not lust after? The same kind of woman that you used to commit adultery with, because this is about adultery. It's one verse above it. This is an adultery addendum. This is something added to the adultery law. In the times past, it was just adultery, and that's that. Jesus Christ increased the adultery law. He increased it. Now, not only can you not commit adultery, but you can't even want another man's woman. How do I know if you want another man's woman? Can I read your mind? Can the priest read your mind? No, he can't read your mind, but he does know if you're sneaking out with her at night and talking to her. He does know if you're sending her nasty messages. He does know if you're talking to her about him and hugging her and she's spending the night at your house and y'all drinking all night. He knows that. He knows that, and he's going to cut your head off. Right? Now, a long time ago, they would not have cut your head off. But Jesus Christ is telling you the law is more strict now. Does everyone understand? If you need a precept, go to Matthew 25 about murder. It was said in times past that whosoever committeth murder shall be brought to the council. This is a precept for this. This is about adultery. This is about attempted adultery. That's what this lust is. When you want another man's woman, how would they know if you want her? The plot, the things that you do, the sitting with her and drinking with her and taking her out and then saying it's innocent. Don't do things like that. Come on. Please, sir.
I think it's so heavy that you bring that up, because when you think about like the movies we work on, they romanticize that. Like the woman is going through rough times with their husband, or whatever. Then you got the knight in shining armor. That's like, oh, he shouldn't be you. This is like Tyler Perry's plot right here.
Oh yeah, yeah. A dumb bitch out there. Excuse me, children. A stupid. Come on. It's like I can't even think of another word. It's a woman who is less than honorable and who is silly. She loves to fantasize about someone better than her husband. Just like when she first got married to him, all she wanted was her husband. Right? That's all she wanted. But when she's married to him, then all she wants is anybody except for her husband. Go look up and see Alexa, Who initiates the desire to marry in the United States, men or women?
In the United States, either men or women can initiate the desire to marry. The legal age to marry.
Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Who wants to be married more in America, men or women? Alexa don't know. I think you know already. This is what you might not know. Alexa, who initiates divorce in America, men or women?
In the United States, women are the ones who usually initiate the divorce process, making up approximately 70% of the cases.
You know how women always want a ring? I want a ring. I want to get married. I want to get married. Women also want to get divorced. That's what they want. They want to get married. They want to get married. In about 2 years, I need to be happy. I need to get a divorce. I need to get a divorce. I need to get a divorce. Guess what I need now? I need to get married. I need to get married. 2 years later, I absolutely have got to get a divorce. I need a divorce. Women love to fantasize about getting a man and then fantasize about losing a man and getting rid of a man. That's them. That's women. You gonna let them rule your life? You gonna let her decide things? That's up to you. All right. The Bible says this, that not only are you not allowed to commit adultery, but you're also not allowed to try, to plot, to want her. You're not allowed to do that. Just like this. Go to Matthew 25. Whenever you're ready. Did I give you the right one? It was said in times past. You got that?
I believe it's Matthew chapter 5, verse 21.
I believe you're right. Go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew chapter 5, verse 21. Ye have heard that it was said by the old, by them of old time.
Of them of what?
Old time.
Remember, the other precept said it was said of by them of times past. Well, here's the same premise. It was said of them of old time. Go ahead. Is it time to roll up? Okay, then. When should I roll? Now or a little later? Go ahead.
Time. Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not do what?
Kill.
In old time, the Bible says thou shalt not kill. When you look up the correct translation, that word is murder. Murder. That's what the Bible says. The Bible does not say thou shalt not kill. The Bible says thou shalt not murder. Everyone understands. Murder is different than killing. Killing is what you do you kill a fly. If it was thou shalt not kill, then you could not kill a fly. You could not kill a carrot to pull it out the ground. You couldn't cut down a tree, because when you cut down a tree, you kill that tree. The actual wording is murder. Murder is specifically the unlawful killing of a human being. The Bible says thou shalt not murder. That's what it says of times past. But that's not good enough anymore. That's what the law says. But Jesus Christ increased the stringency of the law because he is a law and order king. So a long time ago, they said thou shalt not murder. Go ahead.
And whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment. And
if you murder somebody, you're going to be in danger of the judgment. You're going to have to come and answer for what you've done before that council. Keep going.
Verse 22. But I say unto you, that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment.
You see how he increased that? A long time ago, you couldn't murder a man. Now you cannot even be angry with a brother without just cause for being angry. He increased it. He didn't do away with the law. He made the law more strict. That's what that law is about. There was a law for adultery. Then Jesus Christ came and said, you can't even want to have sex with your brother's wife. There was a law for murder. Then Jesus Christ said, you can't even be angry with him without cause. He increased the law. That's what this precept is about. All right, good enough. You get that. Next. Any questions up? All right. Stand by. All right. Did I have to do anything this week? Let me see. What were the precepts I needed to bring out to you? Oh, I think Tazariak wanted to get me to do something. Tazariak asked me for a breakdown on Daniel's 10 and 13. Okay, he told me this is a big controversy on the chat house application or whatever that thing is, right? So now, okay, bear with me. Yeah, I think it's Daniel 10 and 13. Please.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 13. But the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days. But lo, Michael, one of the chief princes, came to help me.
Okay, I don't know how I can describe this to you in time's sake. I think the controversy was they were saying that this was two angels helping each other. Right? Does anybody know about this at all? Anybody hear this? He said this was two angels helping each other. That's what they're saying in the chat rooms. It's not. Okay, this is speaking about Christ. Christ is at Daniel's 10, 5, and 6. That's an appearance of Jesus Christ at Daniel's 10, 5, and 6. The spirit of Christ, an appearance by Christ, came the angel because he was about to now go in battle. He was going to go out in the street and prophesy, right? And Jesus Christ is telling him about how he was doing the same thing in Persia, but the prince of Persia withstood him, but then Michael helped him. The prince of Persia is Satan, is Shaitan. It is not, an actual man. When Jesus Christ was being crucified, he said, now is the prince of this world cast out. You understand? The prince of this world is Satan. He's in charge of this world. You need that precept. There's another precept you need is when Christ, who am I thinking about? Michael was battling for the bones of Moses. He was battling Satan. The battle they're talking about is not physical. It's not a war. It's a verbal battle. It's talking. It's Christ challenging Satan because Satan wants to do something. Christ doesn't want the Most High to listen to Satan. So Christ gives a counter argument to the Lord. So it's a battle in words. That's what the battle is about. And Daniel is about to have to get up and battle in words because he's about to prophesy. But the Most High is going to be with his words. So this battle he had with the Prince of Asia is talking for 21 days. Is talking about a battle that Christ had with Satan. And then Michael came and helped him in that battle because, of course, Michael works for Christ, or Mahayaman works for Christ. So he assisted him in this verbal battle that he's having with the demon Satan, who is the prince of Persia, who is the prince of this world. Everyone understand? That's all I'm going to give you for now. You got to go look it up to even understand what the hell I'm talking about. Anything else? We done here? Any other questions online? Someone check it out. Help the brother out. See if there's a question online I'm missing. Luke 14 and 26. Go ahead.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 14, verse 26. If any man come to me and have his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple.
Yeah, this is a bedrock, one West I.S.U.P.K precept to understand this precept. Here's what this might help you with this concept, right? Because this is a very difficult concept to understand. To serve Christ, you're going to have to do something against your family. Your family is not going to like it. You understand? So when Christ says you must hate your mother and father, he doesn't mean in the sense that you're thinking about it like just, hate your mother and father. What he means is when your mother and father are an impediment to you coming into the truth, when they're trying to stop you from coming into the truth, then you cannot love them, because loving them will mean you will have to do what they want you to do because you love them. You love your mother, that's great, until Your mother says, why are you in that cult? You can't go down there to class. You shouldn't be going down there. Well, what are you going to do then? A loving mama's boy like you. You love your mommy so much. What are you going to do when your mother cries? Please, you didn't even come over for Christmas. We missed you for Christmas. How could that religion be right when it don't even let you be with your mama on Christmas? Well, if you love mama, you're going to be there with a gift. So you're going to have to hate her. What do I mean by hate her? Meaning you are willing to have division with her because you want to be with Christ. And in too many times, you will not be able to be with Christ and please your mom and please your father. You won't even be able to be with Christ and please yourself. You'll have to hate yourself because you like to smoke weed. That's what you love. You love that more than anything. You won't even get a job if the job gives you a urine test. You'll leave the NBA over urine and weed in your urine. You'll leave the NFL. You'll go looking for jobs. The minute they say there's a piss test, you'll go keep looking. Next job. You won't even apply for that job. You love marijuana. That's the love of your life. It means everything to you. It's your peace. It's your sanity. You will not date a woman if she doesn't smoke weed. You'll lose your children over that. There is nothing that you would lose over weed. Well, you're going to have to hate yourself to love Christ. You'll have to go against yourself, against what you want, against the things you love. That's what this precept is talking about, all right? You want to say something else?
I was going to say a precept that would be, thou shalt not serve two masters, or two masters.
That's exactly what it's saying. That master is that addiction that you're going to have. You can't have two masters. You're ruled by weed. And being ruled by weed is being ruled by white people. That's all that is. That's that. Because that's who has weed. That's where you get your drugs from. If you're ruled by pills, then you're ruled by the person you buy pills from. That's your master. That's who you serve. Well, the problem is our oppressor is at the top of that pyramid on getting you pills. He's there. And they all trickle down to your dumb ass sitting in your car making TikTok videos high on pills. All right? Everybody understands. Okay? We good here? Any other questions up? What's your name, warrior? It's all right. Take your time. Anytime you're ready. Say again. Nathanya Allah. Give him a hand. Officer Nathanya Allah. He'll take the class from you.
All right.